I fasted for 24 hours. If you want to know what to expect, were there really nasty side effects? Did I feel different after? Well, I've vlogged the whole thing. Plus, I'll give you my best tips on how to make your first fast go as smoothly and as painlessly as possible. Are you ready? Let's get into it. First of all, I am no stranger to fasting. In fact, I've been intermittent fasting for well over a decade. And to be more specific, I've been doing the 16-8 method, which basically just means you fast for 16 hours and then you eat within an 8-hour window. I know fasting has become a bit of a fad over recent years. I personally do it for the health benefits. For me, it's a really great way to stay in shape and feel amazing without having to obsess over macros or counting calories. Also, huge disclaimer here, fasting is not right for everyone. Always consult with your physician first. This is not medical advice. This is just what I do. So please don't just copy me. But I thought I've already been doing that. I want a little boost, see if it makes any difference. So here's how it went down. You're gonna feel hungry, tired, lethargic, weak. So it makes sense to do this fast on a day where you're not going to be exerting yourself. I don't know about you, but after a hard leg session, I am ravenous. And the thought of not eating after that, too hard basket. Also, if you're not on birth control and you are in sync with your natural cycle, it's so much better to fast on the second week of your cycle, which would be roughly day 7, kind of after your bleed, but before you ovulate on roughly day 15. So that period of time is when your estrogen is at its highest, and surprisingly, that's when your appetite will also be lowest. So I would just capitalize on that, knowing that I'm not going to be as hungry as I normally am. Please, for the love of God, don't fast on week 1, which is when you're actually bleeding, or on week 4, which is the week before you bleed, because those are when your energy levels are lowest, you'll feel tired, lethargic, and really hungry, and it's more important to honor your body and how it's feeling in those times. So fasting's not really appropriate. So by the time I'd woken up, I had already fasted for 12 hours while I'd slept through the night. So this also made it far easier for me to do a 24-hour fast because I wasn't starting later in the day. And it was a Sunday, which is always a rest day for me. So as soon as I got up, I made sure to fill my water bottle full of mountain water. No fluoride for me, thank you. And I added a generous teaspoon of my electrolyte salts. And when I say hydrate, I don't just mean drink a ton of water. I mean, you have to replenish the minerals that you lose through your breath, your sweat, your pee, and your poop. If you don't add these salts to your water, you're gonna feel like crap. You're gonna have a headache, you're gonna feel weak, nauseous. It's not gonna be fun, trust me. So then we headed to the farmer's market. This is where I normally get all of my veg and my eggs for the week. And I just ran some errands. I took the dogs for a walk, all the while sipping on my water. The Viking got a black coffee, a cold brew. By the way, drinks with no calories is okay while you're fasting, so black coffee or herbal tea is fine. But since I quit coffee over 2 years ago, I just had a cup of sweet coal. I'm like clockwork, so as soon as my body was expecting first meal of the day around 10:30, those hunger pangs really hit hard. But I remembered that I was fasting and I couldn't devour my favorite chicken mayo salad, so instead I just filled up my water bottle with more electrolyte salts and continued sipping on it. Now this first hunger pang was really intense, but it only lasted about 30 minutes. The first side effect, my stomach and brain were not computing at all. So I just sat down on the couch with my dog and counted the hours till I'd be able to eat again, which was hard because the math was not mathing, which I think was because of the lack of nutrients to the brain. I mean, the brain fog was next level. Anyway, I finally worked it out. It was 7 hours. So after a solid 15-minute staring match with my dog, by the way, he won, I thought I'd distract myself with some YouTube editing and watching Stranger Things in the background, and the hunger pangs had completely dissipated, and I was left feeling actually really alert and sharp in my mind, which was a massive surprise. But like slightly nauseous. I got maybe another hour of work done, and then I just crashed. I had this like overwhelming feeling of tiredness wash over me, and I just had to go and have a nap. I legit went into another dimension. Like, I was gone. 2 hours later, I woke up feeling like a newborn baby, and I wondered how long I still had to go, which was 5 hours. Then almost immediately, I felt really cold. My hands and my feet were like ice blocks, and no amount of jumpers and layers and blankets could help me, which is weird because I live in sunny Queensland in Australia. But apparently this is a very normal side effect, so no need to freak out. It's due to your body becoming fat adapted, so your body's actually burning your body's fat stores rather than using the energy from food. But it could also be from your blood sugar levels dropping because you're not eating, and obviously digestion has stopped. Then we got to 2:30 and my next hunger pangs came back full force. These were probably even more intense, but shorter lived. They only lasted about 20 minutes. So I made a hot herbal tea, hoping that would warm me up, and decided to do some light stretching yoga just to move the body and kind of distract myself. And as always, it was interrupted by my furry assistants. The hardest thing really for me was getting through the hunger pangs when they hit. So the best thing to do is to keep yourself busy, like doing some yoga or going for a walk or like reading a book or watching your favorite show. Anything to kind of keep you mentally focused on something else that's not too much of an exertion. Staying home on your day off is ideal because the thought of even trying to socialize when you're fasting, I mean, at times I couldn't even string a sentence together, so. But around this time is when I got the weirdest side effect. My face started to flush. I also got this like weird kind of metallic taste in my mouth. I literally looked like I was sunburned. It was really weird. I couldn't really find much information on that. I tried to Google it and I only found a few forums that spoke about it. I'm guessing it's just a side effect of being fat adapted because people who are in ketosis have said that they felt that too. Also, worth noting, I do have rosacea, which is a skin condition where my face flushes anyway. So it may have just been triggered by the fasting. I'd be keen to know if you've tried fasting, whether you've experienced face flushing too. We were getting nearer and nearer to the time of breaking fast. I had a couple of hours to go, and that last hunger pang, it wasn't too bad. It was very short-lived and it actually wasn't as intense. I felt like my body was actually getting used to not eating. We always do a big chicken roast on a Sunday with all the trimmings, so roast potatoes and carrots and sprouts and gravy, the whole lot. So I kept myself really busy with making that. It takes about an hour and a half. Again, after that initial hunger pang of like 15 minutes, I got this like really clear, sharp, alert feeling where I was just super productive and I was just like cooking up a storm. Finally getting to eat after 24 hours, I felt amazing. Like, it was the most delicious meal I had ever eaten in my life. And maybe this was in my head, I don't know, but I really felt like my metabolism had like revved up and like my body just soaked all of those nutrients in. Although you're ravenous from fasting and you literally can't wait to eat, the worst thing you can do is just overeat and gorge on whatever meal you have. The best thing to do is to just eat as you normally would do. Be mindful of your portion control and eat really slowly and mindfully. There's no point in you doing the fast, especially if it's for weight loss reasons, if you're trying to control your calories, to then just overconsume. And it's really not great for your digestion. You probably experience bloating, gas, and stomach cramps. So just take it easy. Overall, my experience with fasting was positive. The worst side effect I'd say was the hunger pangs, but they didn't last that long. But the benefits I didn't feel until days after. My appetite just naturally decreased. I was in my follicular phase, so I was in week 2 of my cycle, so my appetite was lessened naturally anyway. My body just felt light and more alert and like it just didn't need the calories, and it gave my digestion a really good rest, so I felt like my metabolism was just really firing. That night I slept like a baby. I was like a log and I woke up refreshed and like bing, ready to go, which is not like me because I am not a morning person. I love my sleep. It's definitely something I would consider doing again, maybe once a month. I think it might be beneficial. If you want me to talk more about my own fasting, which is intermittent fasting, the 16-8 method, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in another video. Bye.